Hey, so when I wash my bike, I like to use a pressure washer that has a very low pressure rating, but a very high gallons per minute, gallons per minute rating. And so this particular one's a 2.1 gallons per minute, but it has a rating of 1,200 psi. And so I'll give you an example here. So these type of pressure washers are safe on cars, and they're going to be safe on your bike. Actually, put your hand close to it, and it won't touch your hand. So you want a pressure washer. If you have a pressure washer that's stronger, check if it has a pressure dial and you can dial it down. If not, I would suggest go with a bigger nozzle. So I'm doing a 40 degree, so maybe go for 50 degree or something wider to reduce that pressure when it hits your bike. So let's go ahead and start rinsing it down. Now, for a motorcycle, this is not a necessary step, but because I wash cars, I use something called a foam gun, and basically what it does is it mixes soap and water and gives it a very foamy texture, and that draws the dirt down and brings it off the bike or your car or whatever. So, like I said, this is not necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it since I have the tools for it. So you see, I use chemical guys, and you mix 1 part chemical guys with about 4 parts of water, and that should give you enough soap to get the thing going. It's windy. Gonna let it sit on there, let it drip, let it draw the dirt off. Alright, so you can actually skip the foam gun part if you don't have a foam gun and just go directly to the 2-bucket system. So basically it's just 1 bucket of water and 1 bucket of soap. And you're just going to dab the wash mitt into the bucket of soap, lather your bike up with it, and then once it's dirty, you can go ahead and dab it into the bucket of water, get the grit out, and then just repeat that cycle over and over again. For a bike, it's really easy. Only a few swipes to get it. But the benefit of the foam gun is that most of the dirt, like underneath the skid plate and within the nooks and crannies of the bike, are all washed out. So it's easier if you have that ability to do that, but if you don't, it's okay. You can still do it with the mitt. Just take your time. Good. Alright, so what I use to drive my bike is something called an Air Force Master Blaster. The company is called Metropolitan Vacs, and they make this 8 horsepower vacuum actually particularly for cars. And the reason why people like to blow dry their cars is to prevent scratch marks when you use a microfiber towel cloth to wipe it down. So, you know, just it happens to turn out that this actually works really good for a motorcycle, because in a motorcycle, you don't get those smooth edges like a car. You get really, you know, angular lines, and it's just hard to get a towel into those nooks and crannies. So I really highly suggest you buy one of these to help dry your bike down. And one requirement I want to note, that it's really highly suggested that you keep it on a 20 amp circuit, a dedicated 20 amp circuit. Otherwise, if you have a 15 amp, it's going to blow that breaker every time, especially when it overheats. So, you know, I have one 20 amp circuit right here, so that's just a suggestion on my part. You know, the beauty about this too is that this company also sells a vacuum. This is the vacuum, this is the dryer, so you can just switch the hose back and forth to, if you want to vacuum your car, just use a 30-foot hose, put it to the vacuum line, start vacuuming. If you want to dry your car, switch the hose over to the blower. So it works really easily. Just put the hose line, and unwind it a little bit.
Get that piece right here.
So after you blow dry all the nooks and crannies of the bike, get most of the water out, you can still have residual left over. So what I have to do is I usually use some microfiber towel cloths, clean up the residual water, and then I choose one of my products, which in this particular case, I'm going to use a combination of both the Quick Detailer and the Quick Wax to wipe down and give the bike a nice shiny look. So let's see again. So grab a towel, wipe down whatever excess. The last and final step would be to use the Ultimate Quick Wax, and basically what this does is that it seals your bike with a thin layer of wax. It's not a necessary thing to do on a motorcycle, I think, just because these things are left out in the element, but I think it helps in the long run. I think it's better for your bike, and it kind of makes the colors pop out. So spray on, and wipe off. Pretty simple. And it's good on all surfaces. You can put it in your crash bar, you can put it on the window.